feels so good to be on the dirt, making our way up 12 Mile Road, which is the access road from Mayfield, Utah, which is one of my favorite small little towns. Really beautiful. It's butted up here against the mountains, and we're gonna make our way up towards Duck Fork Reservoir. Hopefully there's still some water in it. I don't know if there is or not, but I brought a fishing pole. I'm gonna do a little bit of fishing and just enjoy some time in the mountains over this weekend. Drive up 12 Mile Canyon is just beautiful. I almost always drive down it, not up it, and I'm really enjoying this. And I'm noticing that it's pretty steep with some good little switchbacks on the way up. I've always come down, so it's just a little bit different experience. It feels like a totally new trail, even though I've been on it many times. Look at this. Man, it cannot be overstated just how incredible time in the mountains is. They're so beautiful. I love being up here. While I've taken Skyline Drive down through here before, and on one trip with the boys I went up and over through Mayfield and then down into the San Rafael Swell, I really haven't spent a lot of time up here. On one four-wheeler trip I drove right past Duck Fork, and I've always wanted to come back, but I've never spent time here, so wanted to make my way up, stop here, do a little bit of fishing, see if we catch something. Then after being here for a little bit, I'll go and find a beautiful spot to camp for the night. But I really am just trying to soak in as much mountain time as I can. We only got about a month left before it starts getting snow up in places like this, and potentially looking at getting them closed down. Well, the fishing was a bust, but these trails in the mountains are not. I'm making my way back up from Duck Fork Reservoir, back to the top of Skyline Drive, and once I get up on top of there, I will head down. There's a couple of spurs that I've seen on the maps that look like they might have some really nice views, so I'm gonna go check those out in hopes that I get a really good campsite tonight with an incredible view. This is a little bit of a different adventure because I really didn't plan anything. I just said I'm going to go into this certain area, I want to go check out this little reservoir, maybe do a little bit of fishing, and then just find somewhere to camp and enjoy the evening. So kind of just shooting from the hip, but you can never go wrong when you're in the mountains in Utah, especially along the Skyline Drive range here. It's just beautiful in all directions, and well worth spending just a nice day out here. It's wild. If you see this part right here, you'd think I'm just driving around in a field somewhere, and the reality is I am at 10,000 plus feet. But this mountain range is pretty flat up on top, and it allows for these huge meadows, which is crazy. Well, for about the past 2 hours, I've been just testing out a few different spur trails, kind of looking for an ideal campsite. I found a few that would work, but I didn't love them. There wasn't any tree cover or anything like that. I'm going down one now that's got trees all around. I'm optimistic that there will be a spot I can stop. Hopefully I can find something level. Well, all of my searching for the perfect campsite has paid off. This site is beautiful. It is down a really long spur trail. No one down here at all. You can tell it has hardly ever traveled. And you can see back behind me, I'll show you a little bit better. There's this cool little teepee that people have built, probably hunters. And this site is almost perfect. The only thing that would make it perfect is if I could do a campfire tonight. Technically, right now you can do campfires, but we are in extreme fire danger, so I'm not going to risk it. But check out this campsite. How cool is this? You can tell it's kind of get a little bit beat up, but someone put a lot of time into making this thing. It's like at one point in time they had a fire pit right there. Probably hunters. Could have been like Boy Scouts or something, but pretty cool. I love this kind of stuff. If you've been following my channel long, you have noticed that I don't have my Plano storage boxes on top of the Jeep right now. That isn't because I don't have them, but when I go solo, sometimes I'm feeling lazy and I just lay down the seats and throw them inside the Jeep. I don't love doing that because then they kind of move and slide around, but this morning I was in a hurry to get out and it takes a little bit of time to cinch everything down, so I decided I was just going to toss them in and get on the trail. But normally they're up on top of the Jeep, and inside of those I keep a few different things. One of them that I keep on the opposite side of the driver just for weight purposes is pretty much all of my tools. So I keep some extra oil in there, antifreeze, tow strap, and then a bunch of just miscellaneous tools in case I run into any problems while I'm out on the trail. Then the other one I usually keep the camp kitchen setup. So I've got a Camp Chef stove that I've been using for a couple of years, the Everest, which I really like. It's a good kind of like mid-level stove. It's not your super fancy ones, but it's not your low-end budget one either. I've been using it for, I don't know, 4.5 years, and it's been fantastic. So I'm gonna unload the Jeep a little bit, kind of move a few things around, because when I do go solo, I like to sleep inside the Jeep. It's just really nice being inside the vehicle. Kind of the days of that for me are a little bit over, as I normally have my kids with me and we just don't all fit. But when I'm on solo trips, it's just nice being inside the vehicle. If it's really windy, kind of like it is today, it doesn't really bother you like it would as if you were in a tent. So let's get going. I haven't really showed this off a ton, but this is where I keep kind of like cooking supplies, things like that. So I'll keep plates, spices, different things like that. It's just a DeWalt toolbox, but what I like about it is, one, it's completely weatherproof, so you don't have to worry about, you know, anything there. I do keep it inside the Jeep but I like that it has this quick access tray that you can pull out. So a lot of times that's where I'll put like utensils, forks, knives, things that I need to get access to, soap. And then inside of it, I keep spatula, little tin mug, and 2 pans for cooking. So I have a couple other miscellaneous things in there, some other soap, paper towels, kind of keep my cleaning supplies in this. But normally I just have it in the little back rack on the Jeep. But man, these things, they're not that expensive. Certainly less expensive than some of the, you know, Overland specific boxes that are out there with very similar dimensions, and actually some other useful things like a handle and things like that that some of the other boxes that are out there don't have. So my brother Mike gave me this for Christmas 5 years ago. It's been on every trip with me. Works great. Oh, back here on the back of the Jeep, got a few different things. This storage rack, man, I wish I would have bought this 5 years ago when I first got the Jeep. It's one of my favorite accessories I've added. Adds this nice base up high so that you can put things here so your stuff doesn't pyramid. Then obviously it makes it so that I don't have anything on top of the fridge with the slide out. I added this bag recently, which I really like. I actually have just been using it for like our plates as a family. It's also got some more utensils in there. Got this worn roll bar storage bag. I don't use it on the roll bar. I actually just attach it here to the rack. But inside of it, I keep wipes. So I've got baby wipes, I've got Clorox wipes, just different things I want to use for cleaning. Not on my trips usually, a tackle box. This is a front runner bag. I've had this for a long time. I really like it. I pretty much just keep dry goods, foods in here. So it's got my tortillas for breakfast tomorrow. It's got bread for dinner tonight. It's got soup in there, a few crackers, chips, miscellaneous food items, but it's really handy. You can move it around easy. Eventually, I wouldn't mind getting the front runner hard storage box, as I just talked about some of those, and to put this inside of as a strapped down thing, but it usually floats around. It kind of depends on how many people I have in the rig. If I'm out with just the boys, I'll put this in between them so that they can access snacks. If I'm by myself, I usually just keep it in the back. That way it's quick access for while I'm cooking and things like that. This is my 6-gallon Reliance water. It's okay. I actually ran over the lid in the garage, and so it leaks a teeny bit if you have it tilted on its side. If it's straight up like this, it's not a problem. But I do like that you can turn it into a spout. That works pretty good. It has its own little spout and pouring system that makes it so the kids can easily get their water. Eventually I'd like to have like an actual hard mounted water system that I just fill up and that's in kind of like a space savings type area, but you know, this works. This is my VIAIR compressor. I bought this actually when I first got the Land Cruiser, so I've had it for about 6 years. It goes on every trip with me. I've never had any issues, never serviced it, never cleaned it, never done anything, and it's been fantastic. I do wish that I had gotten the size a little bit bigger. It says that you can fill up to 35-inch tires, and it will do the Jeep's tires, but it's pretty slow. Had I got the size bigger that can do up to 40-inch tires, just has a little bit bigger tank and will allow to fill up the 35s on the Jeep a little bit easier. But hindsight's 20/20. It's been fine. Now this bin usually is not back here. That's why I kind of have them take everything out today, because I kind of have a different setup. But this is where I usually have my cooking stuff. So I've got the Camp Chef in here and a few other little cooking supplies. And then normally I'll have the water and my other food bins right here so that I can access those while I'm, you know, back here at the back of the Jeep. Now, as you can see, I have a super classy case. By that I mean the Camp Chef Everest fits nearly perfectly in a pillowcase. So I've been keeping it in the pillowcase for a long time. When the pillowcase gets kind of beat up from it rattling around in there, just get another pillowcase, super inexpensive. And last but not least, my ice cube refrigerator. This is somewhat of a new addition as well. I added this in the winter this past year. Man, it is so nice not having to deal with ice. Obviously, this is a luxury item. You don't need it, but man, I love having it. All right, well, right now I am just about to start cooking, and the reality is I'm definitely no chef, and when I'm on an adventure by myself, I like to eat simple food so that I can just sit and relax. When I'm on adventures with the family, it's a little bit more effort, and so, you know, I'm worrying about the kids, keeping them safe, making sure they're not doing anything too crazy, and then also making food that I know they're going to enjoy, and by about the time we're done eating and I've cleaned up, that's my time to relax. So when I'm on an adventure by myself, I like to eat super simple. Tonight, it's gonna get super cold, so I'm gonna make some nice warm soup and some grilled cheese. Should be really easy, delicious, and easy to clean up and be able to just enjoy this incredible view. Make your life easy when you're camping. Get these. I have a can opener always with me, and then of course I've got my knife, but man, you don't have to mess with that. Just get the easy remove lids. Simple. Well, it's Saturday morning, and getting out of the sleeping bag was extremely difficult. We've actually had unseasonably warm weather the past like week and a half or so, and yesterday kind of some windstorms came through, kind of pushing all of that hot weather out. And so yesterday was kind of the first like real felt like fall day, and it was really windy last night. And because we're up at high elevation, man, it is cold this morning. So I did not want to get out, but I'm just kind of coming out here, going for a little walk, going where the sun is shining, kind of soak in a little bit of the sun. The agenda for today is kind of up in the air a little bit. The real purpose of this trip was to come up and do some reviews on some kit I've been running for a long time. So I'm going to be working on a review for the AEV Dual Sport 2.5-inch lift that I have. And depending on how long those reviews take and how much time I have, I will either head all the way up Skyline Drive to Tucker, or if I don't have enough time, I'll just drop down Manti Canyon. We will see. Oh yeah, that sun feels nice. There are a ton of flowers in this meadow. It's past season for them, so most of them are dried up. But if you were here in the spring, I'll bet this meadow is absolutely stunning. Working on some breakfast tacos today. Got some eggs and cheese and bacon. Very excited about that. Guacamole, a little bit of sour cream. I'm always interested in what you guys like to do for breakfasts. If you've been watching this channel long, you know I keep it pretty simple. Lots of breakfast sandwiches, tacos, things like that. But the main reason is because it's easy to clean up. So while I like French toast or pancakes and things like that, it's just between the batter and bringing syrup and different things like that, it's just a little bit more work. So I don't usually go that route, but I do like a hot breakfast. It is my preference. if I'm not going to do a hot breakfast, then like maybe like yogurt and granola or something is good. But it is kind of my preference to eat like a bigger breakfast. And then a lot of times, especially if I'm solo on the trail, I'll just have like a protein shake for lunch. In fact, that's what I did yesterday. So anyways, I'm up for trying a lot of new things, but I pretty much like all food. I just don't like cooking all food. So something that's quick, simple, hot, delicious, easy to clean up. Those are kind of the criteria. I'd love to hear some of your ideas. Maybe try some of those out on future adventures.
After a few hours of putting together some reviews, it was time to head home. If you enjoyed this adventure, please like and subscribe, and make sure to hit my backlog and see all of my past adventures. If you'd like to follow me on the day-to-day, you can do so on Instagram at Backroad Exploration. Thanks for watching.